James here. So I'm going to talk about this drum today. This is a Yamaha Birch Custom. It's just a Birch Custom. I got this back in the 90s, and it came with steel hoops, and I decided to put on the Yamaha wood hoops. These are the maple. I can't remember if they're 19 ply or 21 ply or 24 ply or whatever, but they're there's plus sides and whatnot. The downside is sometimes if you get wood hoops, it's hard to find a snare stand that they fit in. This is actually a Yamaha stand too, but what they did is they put a cutout here that you can line that up with. Some people line it up with the badge area. I put it where not the throw off area. I put it where the badge is because I know I usually have a arm on the snare stand that way. They also put a cutout where you turn the snares off and on. If you've ever put wood hoops on a snare that it didn't originally come on there, you have to make sure that there's clearance for that, and sometimes that's not there. Yamaha did that. I don't think they make these anymore. And when I say that, I'm talking about the actual wood hoop, but you know, they do fit in the stands, but you're basically at what I call the capacity of what the stand will do. But the reason I'm talking about this video today is I'm going to grab a stick here. There's no muffling whatsoever on this drum. Okay, so I can. Now this is a foam mic only in a room. There's carpet on the floor, of course, but the ceilings, I can reach up and touch them, the rooftops like this. I love the sound of the wood hoops, but it does inhibit you in a lot of ways if you're trying to use muffling. So if you use something like the new drum drop type things, there is a cutout where the tension rod goes through, but it's not enough to, you'd have to force that in and it'll stay there, but not the full amount touches the head, and also because of the height of the wood, it's not resting the way it and reacting the way it normally would. If you're going to use a drum drop on a drum like this, I would suggest going to a bigger one. And again, you can kind of force it into the hole. You just can't force it all the way down. But then you're going to get the kind of muffling you might want. Okay? So if you're going to use that, it's not like super secure, but it does work on the Yamaha wood hoops. You'd have to try it on the other ones. I'm not sure. There's another item called a drum clip. A drum clip is a formed piece of rubber that has a piece of felt on it that you clip it over a rim, and then that sits on the drum. Now, because of the thickness of this rim, it doesn't work. Now, they have a bigger version that was for larger drums or floor toms, and that doesn't even make it to the head. So the drum clip doesn't work on these type of drums, although it's a great muffling tool. I like it a lot. Of course, we can always do the rings. Now this is one from Noble and Cooley. It fits inside. Okay, some of the rings, because the wood hoop doesn't have that cutout in it, the rings don't fit. You'd have to shave them a little bit to make it work. This is an old Yamaha one, okay? And when I put that in, I can force it down, but it wants to pop up, okay? So if I play the drum, the vibrations will make it pop up. It just doesn't want to sit flat. And again, it's because of the nature of the hoop doesn't allow it. However, like a big fat snare or something like that fits in there, and this Noble and Cooley ring does sit in there, okay? And it gives you that desired effect that you're probably looking for with the muffling. The other thing that works really well, I've got these Remo crown control gels. I like them a lot. No muffling. I'm going to put one here. I'm just going to put it above the crown. It works really well. If you don't want that much, move it up closer to the edge. And it works great. And there's in the package, they come like this. There's 8 in a pack. I really like them a lot. So it comes in a little plastic case, keeps them clean and whatnot. Remo crown control gels. They work well if you got a wood thing. The other one I have here is the Vader Buzzkill. This is the regular Buzzkill. There's a extra dry one, but it's just a clear muffling thing. Same thing, I will put it above the crown. And you can see it definitely worked on taking some of that away. I'll move it closer to the edge. A little bit more ringing. And there's nothing. So these work very well. The Vader Buzzkill. So I would assume that any form of a gel would probably work pretty well. And it doesn't, and the hoop doesn't inhibit it in any way. Of course, we always have the good old gaffer tape. I like to do the method with a couple of waves or ridges in it. A lot of studio drummers do something like that. You can determine how much ring or whatever you want to take away based on the sound you're looking for. Another thing, this one was cut for something else, but taking a pool noodle and then cutting it and then take that and put it over the... now this was done for a different drum. I would probably get one that's a little bit wider. They have different options on those. But it does take a little bit of the edge off. It's just a pool noodle cut like that. So that works too. So you have these options. Okay, and of course, there are other muffling devices out there. I'm just saying if you have a wood hoop drum, to me, the gels and the rings work the best because you're not trying to clamp it onto the rim. Anything that uses the rim as a clamp on, it changes because this rim is not the same. So there you go. Give them a try yourself and see what you think.